Hey class, lesson 22 is on analyzing and comparing statistical graphs. Alright, so we're going to look at some different types of graphs. The first one we're going to look at is a double bar graph. This shows groups of data side by side. So you'll see the light blue and the dark blue are comparing Sal's deli versus Harry's deli. And we see based on the indications here, it says the number of sandwich shops and over the year. Okay, so what year shows the greatest difference between the number of sandwich shops Sal and Harry owned? So we're looking for the biggest difference between the light blue and the dark blue line. So if we look in 2001, we have 2 for Sal and 8 for Harry, so there's a difference of 6 between the two. In 2002, Sal has 5 and Harry has 10, so there's a difference of 5. In 2003, we see a 9 and 12, so there's a difference of 3. 2004, they have the same, so they have a 0 difference. 2005, we see Sal has 10 and Harry has 16, so they have a difference of 6. In 2006, we see that Sal has 7 and Harry has 18, so that's a difference of 11. So what year shows the greatest difference? Well, that would be 2006 by 11. And we can probably see that just looking at the graph, but it was good for us to calculate that. This is A out of your assignment. Number 2, stem and leaf plots. These are where you have data displayed that uses some digits as a stem and others as leaf. And you'll see here now the age of hiking club members. And so the stem is going to represent the tens place and the leaf represents the ones place. So we have a 10. Let me write out the first list. We have another 10. And then we have a 17. If we look at the fours, we have a 41, another 41, another 41, and a 43. So that's interpreting a stem and leaf plot. Okay, so it says make a stem and leaf plot of the data showing the heights in inches of the grandchildren of the Jackson family. You're going to want to put the data in order from lowest to highest because that's how our stem and leaf plot goes. Your leaves all go in order. So I'm just going to write it into order here. 52, 54, 56, and then we have a 68, 71, and a 72. Okay, so my stems are going to be 4, 5, 6, and 7, so all of my tens places. And I only need to write one of them. And now my ones places are going to go in for the leaves. So I have a 0, 3, and 2 9s in the fours. My 5s are 2, 4, and 6. 6 only has 1 at 8, and 7 has 1 and 2. And there we have a stem and leaf plot. All right, number 3. Line graphs. A line drawn through points on a grid to show trends and changes in data over time. If we compare 2 of them, it's a double line graph. So here, now we see the same exact data that we saw in line example 1, except for we are looking at it as double line graph. Okay, so what was the greatest number of shops that Sal opened in 1 year? So if we look, Sal's Deli is this one here. So we want to know what's the greatest number he opened in 1 year. So we're going to look at the change between 2001 and 2002. So we're going to look here. So if he had 2 shops here and he had 5 shops here, this is a change of 3. So he had 5 shops in 2002, and in 2003 it looks like he had 9 shops. So this had a change of 4. 2003 to 2004. So if he had 9 here, and here he's at 13, that's going to be another change of 4. And then we have in 2005, he went down, so that's not an increase in shops. Did I count all mine correctly? Oh, this should be 14. There we go. Let's change those. In 2004, he had 14, so this is an increase in 5. So we're looking only at increases, and he increased 3, 4, and 5, so the greatest one was the 5. So 5 shops. All right, example 4, comparing double bar graphs. So we have a table of data, and then we have it again in the double bar graphs. This time, the light blue is deposits, and the dark blue is withdrawals. So putting money into our bank account is a deposit, and taking money out is a withdrawal. So which month shows the greatest difference between the deposits and the withdrawals? So I'm going to not even look at all of the data. I'm going to just look at January and May, because those are the ones I see the biggest difference between the light and the blue line. And if we look here, we're at about 100, and here I'd say we're about 475. Oh, there's, okay. So that's going to show us we have a difference of 375. If we look at May, we're at about 200 and 500, which is confirmed here. And so this has a difference of 300. So I see that in January, I had my greatest difference. Example 5, circle graphs. These are used to show sections of a circle compared parts to a whole. So the whole circle is 100%, and each section is representing a percentage of that. Use the circle graph in example 5. If the first quarter sales of next year are $3 million, predicts the sales for the following year. So their first quarter sales were 12%. So 12%, we are going to change into a decimal, 0.12. So I'm going to say 0.12 of the sales for next year is equal to $3 million. So we talked about solving one-step equations with multiplication and division yesterday. So to solve this, I'm going to divide by 0.12 and divide by 0.12, and I find out that it was 250,000 or 250 million, I believe it was. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6 zeros divided by 0.12. We get 25 million. All right, and that wraps up. A little bit longer today, but we're good. Thanks, guys.